Adam Vox here, and welcome back to another Forum Friday on a very, very rainy Friday for me. Also a very allergy-filled Friday, as it is about to be springtime, and my allergies are swinging in full force. I'm taking my allergy medicine every day, but man, am I getting congested, and I'm talking funny, and I had Tuesday this week where I just barely felt like I could get out of bed or go anywhere, and I was late to class, and it's been an interesting week. Yesterday, I actually spent all day out of the house in class, and then I had to go do a video shoot for a class project that we're like a month late on. It was, like I said, it's been a very interesting week, but it's over, and I get to spend the weekend doing a little homework, but also playing some video games. I do have to make next week's videos at some point, but meh. I'm kind of at that point where I need to really, really focus on school. And spring break is the week after next, and so I really, really need to focus on school because things are, lots of due dates are coming up, so I gotta make sure I get everything done. Then I can go back to making videos. So the next week's videos may not be super strong or like important. I don't know yet. A couple house cleaning things before we get too far deep into your all's comments for the week. Although there were only a couple, so it won't take us too terribly long. At the moment, there's been a misunderstanding with my Google Plus page somehow, in that I am now unable to respond to comments or messages just at all on the entire channel, on the entire main channel or Google Plus page. That's YouTube/EposVox. For probably another week. It was a 2-week little ban thing that didn't make any sense, and I tried posting in some support forums to try to appeal it or something because it didn't make any sense, and I was given a warning for something I wasn't doing, but I was never actually given the warning. I don't know. So I don't know. That sucks, because I really need to be able to respond to comments, and I like talking to you guys in the comment section, and there's lots of you all who have questions. For example, actually, the comment on this past week's Forum Friday was asking about a laptop or a computer streaming specs, something that I responded to. But I have lots of comments that I need to respond to, and I have lots of videos that I watch that I like commenting on, and yet I can't do that now. So that really sucks, but it will be back probably by next week. Yeah. Forum Friday. So I should have a bit more interesting gameplay for you guys today, as I've been posting a lot of Destiny as of late, so I'm trying to make sure I use a little bit of gameplay that's different than Destiny today. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about demos, game demos. This used to be huge. I don't know how many of you all experienced this or were old enough to have experienced this or whatever, but back when I was a kid, Pizza Hut actually had video game demo discs that came with the kids' meal. So I would beg my parents. There used to be, they just actually turned it into a full Taco Bell, but by my house, there used to be a combination Taco Bell Pizza Hut restaurant. You'd drive through and you could order either Taco Bell or Pizza Hut or get a cross of both. It was a really interesting idea, and I used to always beg my parents, because that was the closest quick serve Pizza Hut kind of place to my house. I would always beg my parents to take me there, get me a personal pan pizza with a couple of their amazing breadsticks, and I would get a Pizza Hut demo disc. And this would be for the PlayStation 1, and I think they had a couple on the PlayStation 2. And it'd just be all sorts of new games to play, of PlayStation 1 games that I hadn't played yet, because either they weren't out or I just didn't own them, because we didn't get new games all that often. We didn't have a lot of money for games. And so those demos were my games. And especially back then, I didn't exactly finish games all the time. So it's not it's seen as casual scrub knot status, but I was not a completionist as a kid. I barely, there were a lot of games that I just didn't understand how to finish. And frankly, I didn't have, I wasn't given the ability to just play video games 24/7 like I currently can when I'm not working all the time. And when I was a kid, I had very limited video game access. I had to get permission, I'd have to have my dad set it up, I had to be watched. It was very, very limited. My parents did not want me to become a couch potato. So instead I became a desk chair potato. But so those demos were my games, because I could actually play through them and play a hefty amount, and it didn't really matter if I didn't finish or whatever. And they were a lot of fun. And then we also, for a while, I think it was really my dad who subscribed to it, not me per se, but we got the PlayStation Magazine. This was really popular back then. And we got it quite often. I think we got it for quite a few years there, because it came with, I believe, PS1 and PS2 demo discs. And so we had demos of all kinds of crazy stuff. And it was just amazing to get to experience so many new games, and it led me to want other games. Like, there used to be this goofy little skeleton RPG thing called Medieval, and I think they actually did a newer goofy version of it on like the PlayStation Arcade or whatever for the PS3. But it was just, I got to play as a skeleton and go through this medieval scene, and as a kid who was also often limited to bloody or too mature games as a kid, as a young kid, this was the closest I got to having those kinds of games, and so it was a lot of fun. We don't get a whole lot of that now. There are some demos on Steam, and for a while there were some demos on Xbox Arcade and PlayStation Network and things like that, but it was never as good as the experience was back in the day, and that may be of pure nostalgia, but I really do feel like demo quality is just really dumbed down quite a bit, because demos used to be actual beta versions of the game that you'd have a couple levels of, and there used to even be secrets in them. Like in a demo of one game, you could find the demo of another game or screens for another game, or in the full version of one game, you could find a demo of another game secretly hidden in the menu with button shortcuts and stuff. And nowadays it's just you go to the Xbox Live Arcade, choose a game, and it's oh look, there's a demo, and it's just some really crappy intro cinematic or something, and that's it. And so I miss those days. And the discussion kind of came up recently because it was, for whatever reason, explicitly announced that Mortal Kombat X would not have a demo. And you don't exactly need a demo for a normal Mortal Kombat game, so it's not like it was that big of a deal for that game specifically. Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat, except in the case of Shaolin Monks. But we already know this game isn't going to be Shaolin Monks, so we're pretty good on that front. Mortal Kombat's going to be pretty good. But we did, we don't get demos that often, and to me that is exactly why piracy is up. Piracy for video games, at least for myself and for most people that I know, is a means of trying before you buy. Nowadays, with how most games work or how the DRM works, you don't even get the full features of the game unless you actually have a legitimate copy. Multiplayer versions are disabled. You can't play on the multiplayer servers, you can't get access to certain, DLC things, you can't get access to certain game modes because they all require accessing the actual publisher's servers, which you can't do on a pirated copy of the game. What you can do is actually play the game and experience it and figure out whether or not you like it and whether or not it's worth sinking the money into at any point in time. You know how we could also do this in a totally legal and legitimate way that's not misconstrued as stealing money from the developers or publishers? By playing a demo. A good thought out, planned demo that isn't just, bullshit intro cinematic stuff. To me, that is the solution to to video game piracy, is proper DRM support, because there are lots of games in which honestly playing the pirated version is a lot easier than playing the official version, because there were some there's always issues with Uplay servers and things like that, Ubisoft stuff. But there was one game, I feel like it was the original Mass Effect or something, I know it wasn't that, but I think it was a Uplay based game, where literally people who bought the game ended up pirating it right after they bought it and just using that key, because the official DRM for it was just so impossible to use that it made actually playing the game near impossible. Whereas if you pirated it and just put in your game code to activate it, you had the full game. And so getting rid of really just stupid and absurd DRMs. Steam and Origin are perfectly fine. You don't need all this Uplay and Games for Windows Live stuff, which they thankfully got rid of. And then B, providing proper demos so we can actually test the game and figure out whether or not we like it. Seeing an intro cinematic that actually doesn't show any good gameplay nor let us play it is not a substitute for a demo. Neither is 5 minutes of gameplay than a buy here screen. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts are about demos. If you have any positive experiences with demos in the past, what you think about them, what you think should be done about them, etc. Let me know in the comment section down below. Obviously, this primarily applies to AAA titles, not indie games, but it could be applied to anything. Just like the way that good TV networks like HBO and stuff are combating internet privacy is by making episodes readily available on the internet for viewers, and you get like 1 to 5 for free. This is amazing. If I want to go watch Elementary, I can go to ABC's website, or CBS's website, and look for Elementary, and then I can watch 5 episodes for free, which is enough actually to let me catch up on the show without pirating it. Or then, if I want to make sure I stay up to date, I can subscribe for however much. It's not that much. And I have a much easier to access service than piracy, especially with all the Pirate Bay stuff going down and all that craziness. So apply that to video games and let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks for your support and for your comments and for everything else. I'm sorry I can't respond to comments at the moment. As soon as that gets re-enabled, I will be catching up and responding to everything for the past couple weeks. See you later. Thanks for watching, etc. If you need to contact me in which I can reply, feel free to comment on the other channels, such as my TF2 channel, which is also posting a lot of Destiny right now. So that's just what I'm going to call my solo gaming channel. That's where I'm posting Destiny, and I've posted some Halo Reach videos. Hopefully going to get back to TF2 videos. The vlog channel, of course, where we post vlog videos. And then the co-op gaming channel where we post Guild Wars 2 co-op. We've been doing some PvP and some dungeons and things like that. We've posted Don't Starve Together. We're going to get back into a couple other games. It's going to be great. So comment on those channels or just tweet or Facebook me on the Facebook page or Twitter. Thanks for watching. See you next time.